Hey, it's Colio playing Dominions 4. I almost said the wrong thing there, but I think I've gotten it right each episode. Playing Dominions 4. Yeah, let's just see what happens. A proclamation from Atlantis. They've got a new prophet. They must have lost one of their own. They're fighting somewhere. We are battling for Yerk Balkor. This is up in the mountains. As soon as we get this, the sooner we can go and join our other army. So this is really important. I'm a little iffy on how effective this army is going to be, but against a force like that, I feel much better. Let's speed through this real quick as we mow them down viciously, without mercy. Disgusting hairless apes working with the hairy apes. They stand no chance. Yeah. Well done, tacos. Okay, there was a battle in Llama, so they're attacking us. They're trying to break our siege. This is their main force, and we've got a really scattered army in this area, so this could be really dangerous for us. We'll see how it goes. Oh my goodness! They have brought the heat, and we are not ready for it. Maybe we should have abandoned. This is going to be a big... I don't see us winning this. No lie. Let's take a look. They have, these aren't sacred serpents, these are horned serpents. They don't add the additional morale boost, but they're still a decent unit. Big issue on that is they do poison damage, which isn't very effective against our units. The wolves are a non-factor. The berserkers, not that big of an issue. The crazy amount of archers are just gonna absolutely destroy us. Luckily, not any really incredible units here. A lot of these are pretty cheap units, and if anything we've got going for us, it's that I do wish I'd have brought more units up into this area, but we've got a decent amount. Luckily, not that many war elephants or tiger riders, just a couple of stragglers really. I don't know, we might have a chance here. There's no like incredible looking units in here, and mages would be another big issue, so let's take a look at that. It'd be hard to actually spot a mage in this big cluster, but I think I see one there. One or two. Here's one. No, it's a priest. We have a prophet here. Just happened across him. Disbelieve. Ooh, what's that? All illusions in the vicinity will be dispelled. Okay, don't care about that. He's got really good experience. Heroic strength. A null factor. Lucky. Prophet. Awe, regeneration. Okay. Still, big buffs coming out of that prophet. I'm not seeing any big mages. At least not yet. Maybe they have priests. But the big magical spells would suck. If anything, if we survive the archers, if our guys do good, I think we might be able to win this. So let's back up, stop talking about it, and just let it happen. And go. Fanaticism, eagle eyes, panic among the ranks, that's good. Legions of steel, buffing our armor, making it even harder to kill us. The blessing is just going crazy. Stacking blessings upon divine blessing having absolutely no effect for them though. Because the divine blessing does everything that a blessing did. That's one spot where the AI is a little lacking. These wolves coming in from the side could actually be an issue, just because they'll go straight for my slingers if they're not stopped. Well, never mind. They were stopped pretty effectively. Oh my goodness. There's so many arrows. We're losing some. They got so many troops, it would be so hard to just keep the morale going through this whole fight. I don't like that elephant up in the top. It looks like he took a good smite. My prophet was thinking the exact same thing. Why are we ignoring that elephant? Ooh, the blade wind coming down. Doing some damage. Not that amazing, but it'll hurt their morale if anything. These wolves are scattering my front line a bit. It's a little disappointing, but it looks like we're getting back on track. I want that elephant dead. I'm afraid of it. Ooh, look at those arrows. Just raining down. Oof. Yeah, if anything's going to win this, it's going to be the archers for their side. It looks like the elephant is running. Sadly, it's off to the side. It's not going to be trampling any of his own troops. The panics are good. Oh, another blade wind. Oh, man, just doing tons of damage there. Oh my goodness, them arrows are just vicious. And that's an unfortunate thing. My troops don't have any like ranged attacks. Even our melee guys. They have slingers and they have people who throw javelins, most likely. So even if they're not directly in the front line, they're still contributing to the fight. My guys have a disadvantage there quite greatly. So I really need to focus a lot more on my ranged attackers in these fights and ease up on the slaves, I think. We've got a good front line. We need people in the back hurling down death and destruction. Oh, there's an elephant back there. He's trampling his own guys because he's running through them frightened. It's pretty neat for me. It's not going to do much. We're doing all right. They've still got the numbers advantage. Like I said, this is a big thing. Morale. Depending on who falters first is who's going to win this. We are wrapping around, but maybe it's stretching us too thin down there too. So our mages, Prophet Lugal casting Smite, Bone Lord's healing, Bubba's still casting Panic, which is a really good one. We're losing some troops up front. This looks like the ones that were under the mages most likely. They had low inspiration, and that's to be expected. Losing some slingers, but I think they've gotten they've used all their ammunition, so they're not much of a help at the moment anyway. Not a big loss on that either. We're getting some undead coming in. Okay, we're losing more of our slave warriors, and that's very unfortunate. We need them. The archers are just doing a ton of damage here. Oh, and it looks like we've all been routed. Armies of Satis are routed. Looks like not all of us are routed. Some are still fighting to the death. Luckily, some of them arrows are doing some damage to them, but more to us. There we go. And now we're just going to take a pounding as we run away from these arrows. Alright, let's speed this up a bit. So, I underestimated them. They brought a very big force with them that I was not expecting. It looks like... Yeah, so what happened here, and I wasn't really paying attention to it, but Wamani, the spells he's been casting has left him fatigued, and that's why he hasn't been casting much here lately. It also looks like he's suffering from this battle, just because of the route. I need him to be able to run away, to be honest. I would not mind it. There he goes. The last thing I want is for him to be too fatigued and die to something goofy like this fight. Alright, so we're in a full rout. Their archers were able to swing it for them. They had just incredible numbers. It wasn't completely one-sided, but it is a setback. Without a doubt. Okay. And that is that. Let's look at the numbers on this. So we got to none of their commanders. That's highly unfortunate. Their total losses were 168. They brought 745 to the fight. We lost no commanders. That's good. Lost a ton of heavy infantry. Most of them probably in the retreat. Whatever city guard and light infantry we had got killed off, and that's fine by me. That's less what do you call it? Like weaker units that I have to pay for. So them going off, I'd rather replace them with heavy infantry going forward anyway. Elite warriors lost 95 of them. They routed a little too soon in my opinion. Sacred serpents, lost 3 of them. That's fine. The poison slingers, that's pretty negative. I've learned from this I need more in the back line. I've got too strong of a front line and a lot of them not doing anything. So let's see what the aftermath of that is. What it is they claim the territory back. They got a ton of people here, and they haven't 100% split me off from going back home. But they left this army in a really bad position up here. He can come back down. We can amass our forces and go in for a counterattack. And I think that's the best plan. And we'll hit him from 2 sides. But I need to start really pumping up my troops again. We've gone... I think we lost about 200 or 300 upkeep there in troops in these last 2 fights. Pretty vicious. I don't think they have the strength, though, to push it any further. Let's see where we went to. So our prophet retreated back into this territory, along with Sergeant Grimm. And the bottom is where Bomani went. Luckily, he didn't die or anything like that, so it's decent. I want to take a look very quick before I forget about it. How much is the Blade Wind cost as far as fatigue? It's extremely high. At 80? Yeah. It's very hard for him to cast those Blade Wind. I think there's ways of making fatigue less disadvantaged. It's still the best use for him. Those Blade Winds are pretty crucial. I don't think he only gets about 2 of them off before he becomes fatigued and can't do anything else. Legions of Steel costing 40, probably not helping that much, but I think him buffing his armors with more armor is definitely worth, or having mages that can do that spell instead of him. Okay. Right, okay, let's begin putting our soldiers back together, I believe. And getting out new mages, I think, is also really important going forward. So we're going to set up Marsh Masters on repeat. We're going to look and see, there's nothing stranded up here. We're going to move them down into this territory. In here, we're going to collect whatever we can and rebuild this army. Any slaves, of course, go with the Taskmaster. All this infantry in with the Prophet, along with one of these. I want one of these with the Taskmaster. These are pretty important. And I think... Okay, he doesn't have a whip. If he had a whip, I'd take it off of him because he can't benefit from the extra troops anyway. I'll have to keep that in mind for the other ones. We'll put the slingers back in. These units, we've got to set this up again, which is kind of annoying, but it's that closest enemy. This one, fire, closest. I want these up front. These, not enough of them to make a very effective line. We're just going to put them in a group in the back. Keep the morale as high as possible. These units, attacking, closest enemy. Put them a little off to the side. They're in good spots themselves. Okay. We're going to leave them there. Let this one get here. Maybe spend the turn building another temple to spread our dominion. That'll really help in these fights. Then again, he could press up and try and attack us. We've got a decent force there, though. I'm not too worried about that front. Down here, Latu, he's coming back up. This province defense, 52, pretty strong. Plus, a lot of his army when I was up here in the north. It would take him a bit to get down here, I think. That's what we're going to bet on. We got to let these 2 merged together. One thing we can do is we've got, I never named this guy. Kaditsu is our priest, and our first one that we made that wasn't a prophet. This is going to be Father. I don't know. What's a good name? Father Nivea. There we go. Father Nivea is going to... Best place for, well, at the moment, we don't have a lot of options as far as building new temples. I'd love to build one up here, but I don't want to take this guy off of defense. So I think Nivea is going to come down here just to set up another temple down this way. And then we got to set up this army. So, all these guys get in with Sargon. Does Sargon have... He does. We're going to take it off. We can't take it off. We can transfer it to somebody. Now, it might be just as good to just give it to one of the mages instead. So it's not inhibiting us in any way. Which I think it does. It's good for the extra units, but when you're not making use of that, I don't think it's worth keeping. And I gave it to him. He shouldn't be commanding any troops, so it shouldn't matter for him. Okay, these back to Bomani, and this in with the least morale unit. We're going to need a lot of those. Let's set them up. Attack. Closest. Put them pretty close to the front. This unit as well. Super small compared to where we started. But that's how it goes. We have, I think, done more damage to him than he's done to me, though. Mainly because we are in their territory. And anything we take from them. Let's move this up here. Okay. That's as good as that's going to get. Okay, as far as recruiting, we're getting our mages. We've got a lot to go with here. What's most important right now? I think it is important to build up our front line. It's been pretty devastated. Our elite warriors are down a bit, but we have a lot in the top. I'm going to stay off the slaves for a bit. Some sacred serpents, of course, are good. We'll get 2 of them. And then we'll probably build up our heavy infantry a bit. Another thing I could be doing now is actually a couple turns ago was probably a good moment. Start getting our sacred units. We can only produce 5 at a time, I think. Oh no, we can produce as many as we want of these. Oh, I didn't expect that. Maybe we'll only produce 5 at a time just to save money for other spots. This is the only place we can have these sacred units, but they're pretty good units. Much better than normal infantry. And underneath the priest, like our prophet, they'll be even stronger. Though, yeah, this is a good reason not to do too many because our blessing effect isn't very good. They're not going to be that much stronger. So we'll just do a couple of them. They'll build up slowly, and we'll go get them later. We'll just try to put them out of our mind for now. We're going to pump out some heavy infantry then with what's left. Or some slingers. Oh yeah, we can only get slingers back at home. That's important. That's really unfortunate too. We could look for other archer type units. Like the normal archer. Recruit some humans, dirty humans. But I don't think we want to do that. I think the poison slingers is still a better way to go. Just because humans are susceptible to diseases from us and our dominion. So, go back here. We'll get slingers going. Really good for where we are at. We've got lots of gold, less resources. I don't feel like these are extremely useful. I think mages are definitely more useful. But maybe Maybe we half and half. I think that's what we'll do. A half measure. Half slingers. Half infantry. Fill a little of both worlds. The mages are more important as far as our back line. The slingers, they do a couple of ranged attacks, but once they run out, they basically become useless on the battlefield. Alright. Hopefully Ladu and his Minotaurs make a big difference as we push and retake this. We could also have somebody come back and claim what few soldiers we have here. This is going to be one attack next turn. No, he wouldn't have enough time to get back and attack. Yeah. Okay. Right. So, is that it? Are we ready to move on? I think so. 150 units. I really need to take this area. And the quicker I do it, the better. Because they still have to build up their forces. Okay, let's end turn. Research and evocation. There's a battle in Dershid. Oh wow, they're attacking us on two fronts. No, okay. They're attacking us on one front. Bringing the battle back to us in Dershid. Let's go take a look at it. This is down here. Of course, against our province defense, we left it vulnerable, but they only brought this little teeny force against this humongous provincial defense. I don't see them standing a chance. There's one more guy down here. He's not going to turn this battle. I don't care how valuable your units are. When you get swarmed by a unit this large, I don't know what he was thinking with that one. I was expecting much more there, but that's good for us. Anything they lose in these fights, completely good for us and detrimental for him. They didn't lose much. Okay, we had our high priest there. Luckily, he did not die. I forgot about that. Okay, unexpected event in Ctesiphon. Spring floods have destroyed crops and buildings. We lost some gold. That is unfortunate. A sneaking enemy was discovered, and we have killed it. It was an Atavi chieftain. I wonder where that was exactly. I should look at that. It doesn't say. Oh, he was back here? No. Wait. Yeah, I think so. I don't know. Was he back in my main capital? It might have been. Well, wherever he was, he's dead now. Alright. Let's take a look at this unit. I think we're ready. Looks like they've moved people. Yeah, they've moved back down here. We're going to take this. We're going to take the fight back to this castle. Not give them any time to rest or build up anything. Father Nivea is going to build more temples. Spread that dominion. We lost gold because of that flood. We're going to bump down a bit on our recruiting because of that. Probably all of these slingers. The dominion, very important. Got a negative dominion here. That temple, it'll help us push back. Get things under our control. Even back here is dominion. Or maybe, quite possibly, dominion coming from down here. We haven't seen a lot of them. Maybe he's back in here assaulting them, if we're lucky. Making things even harder for the monkey people. Okay. Everyone's going to attack. I think there's a way. There we go. T. To assign military units. No. What is it? Is it shift? No. There's a way to check all the units that are going to be in an upcoming battle or an upcoming province and set them all up accordingly. It's not going to be that important. I can't remember how it is. I feel like it's shift plus another button. Whichever one the, maybe it's, no. I don't remember. It's not that important. I think our army's set up still pretty decently. We've gotten our new mage. We haven't lost any important people, so that's good. We've got our commanders. Lots of experienced people. So, new mage. He is decent in Earth. Maybe we want to try other mages. What do we have access to? We do have these witches. Not very good. We're kind of limited on mages now. We can summon some decent kind of mages, I think. This is the best we've got. Well, more of these. I think the death ones are actually better as far as combat's concerned for us for now. Until Earth can do better magic, the Dragon's Breath I don't think is doing as much as I would like. Okay, so Mag. What's the name for him? I'm just looking around my room right now. Or this motel room. Not seeing anything very amazing to look at though. What am I gonna call him? Bed? Chair? Fork? Okay. He's a fork. Mad Fork. His name's Fork. There we go. Maybe I use these mages to transport what I've got up. I mean, they're coming forward anyway. Let's go into this army. Let's find one of these earth mages in here. The panic ones? Probably the best we're going to get from them. Unless we want them to slime. Okay, let's go take a look at it instead. Army setup. See what spells he has available to him. Tangle Vines, Eagle Eyes, Enlarge, Vine Arrow, Sleep Cloud, Breath of the Dragon. Let's look at it real quick. The caster opens his mouth and let bile stream against his enemies. So, range 15 plus, area of effect 3, number of effects 1, precision down, fatigue cost is 20. It doesn't say what it actually does. Maybe it just adds some sort of debuff to him and it's not doing damage directly. Poison Cloud sounds much more like my kind of spell. The caster creates a cloud of noxious spores dangerous to men. The cloud remains on the battlefield for some time and everyone into the cloud will be affected by its poison. That sounds much more beneficial. It's a level 3. A lot better for him. Regeneration, personal regeneration. We got some enchantment options in here. Healing, no, healing touch, not so much, but there are healing spells like heal that's got range to them. Could be pretty good. But I like the poison cloud. We're going to go with that. And maybe we up the precision a bit. I don't think that'll really matter for poisonous cloud, would it? It says precision -1. It's not going to affect our troops that much. Maybe the Minotaur, but I don't really care about that. No. We'll just get out as many poison cloud as we can. After he does about 5 of them, he'll be pretty fatigued. It's pretty decent. Okay. You grab whatever you can, which ain't much. In fact, I think these are more valuable to bring to the front line at the moment. You move forward. He's building. Okay, we're going to end the turn there. And in fact, we're going to end the episode there. So, thanks for watching. Maybe a couple more episodes, I'm not sure. Oh, man. I've been going pretty strong, actually. I started to stretch and it felt really good. But anyway, Later, guys.